Hello, my name is Silvia Toneva and I'm an expert at the National Agency for Vocational Education and Training in Bulgaria. Our agency is a partner in the Green Leadership for Hotel Managers project. In the next few minutes, I will present to you important highlights about the role of the VET system in achieving the European green priorities. In many languages, there is an expression life in pink, which means a cheerful and optimistic view of life. Today, however, we all need another perspective in tune with the pace of development of the world around us, and that is the green future. However, what exactly does it mean beyond the initial associations? First, let's clarify the concept of the green future. That means ending the overuse of natural resources, reducing consumption, and maximizing recycling. The philosophy also emphasizes the importance of designing products and using materials in ways that preserve their value, to conserve natural resources and to limit any impact on the environment are other must-haves that determine the green future. Sustainable development is another important sign of this concept. In brief, this development meets the needs of the present without compromising the ability of future generations to meet their own needs. In fact, before we reach the dream life in a green future, we will have to pass through the so-called green or just transition. What represents the green transition and why is it so important nowadays? The green transition could very soon become the phrase of the year, valid on a global scale. This is because the topic of global pollution, the quality of life, and the measures that governments are obliged to take are occupying an increasing part of the public's attention. The green transition means a shift towards economically sustainable growth and economy that is not based on fossil fuels and overconsumption of natural resources. It means sustainable economy relies on low-carbon concepts that promote the circular economy solutions, clean energy production, biodiversity, hydrogen technology, but not only. It will require a new type of social relations, public services, and the satisfaction of new public expectations, all of which will require adequately minded and trained people. The transition to an environmentally sustainable and low-carbon economy, a so-called green economy, will generate new jobs while also causing jobs losses and will alter the skill requirements of many jobs. The green economy is a market-based economy oriented towards environmental sustainability, economic profitability, and social inclusion. Similarly, the United Nations Environment Programme defines it as an economy that results in improved human well-being and social equity while significantly reducing environmental risk and ecological scarcity. Thus, green is used as a synonym for ecological, low-carbon, resource-efficient, non-pollutant, and social sustainability in contrast to conventional economic practices. Green practices include sustainable production processes, products, and consumption patterns with the circular economy as a general paradigm for resource efficiency. All this will have major implications for future vocational education and training systems as they need to provide the existing and future workforce with the required skills to find decent employment in the emerging green economy. Regarding companies and municipalities, the green transition implies roadmaps in different economic sectors and sustainability strategies applied by trained staff with an appropriate educational profile. As that is considered closest to production and real business, it's called upon to greatly support the green transition by providing learners with the appropriate knowledge, skills, and competencies. A successful transition to a green economy requires a coherent alignment of green agendas, skills development policies, and a systematic orientation of VET systems towards sustainability. This can only success if sustainability is incorporated into a country's development strategies and all policy areas, including VET, and also if VET is integrated in environmental and sustainability policies. Practically today in many countries, the private sector needs incentives, sanctions, and support to develop a demand for green skills. A just transition will entail systematic changes, including new products, services, production processes, and business models. This will inevitably change the tasks and duties to be performed by certain professions. A just transition cannot be successful without the integration of the informal economy in green, economic, and VET policies. The aim is to facilitate the inclusion of marginalized people working in the informal economy in modernizing VET systems. VET is crucial to prepare the labor force for a just transition, but VET systems need to be strengthened and aligned with comprehensive social protection measures. The transition to a low-carbon economy will inevitably lead to structural and sometimes disruptive changes in the labor market. VET system and labor market policies are crucial instruments to prepare in time for this shift if they react flexibly to changing skills requirements, transmit solid occupational and transferable core skills, address initial training, as well as re- and upskilling, and are aligned with active labor market policy for facilitating a just transition. Just transition requires holistic VET reforms to ensure relevance, attractiveness, and inclusivity. Current VET systems often miss the necessary governance mechanism, lacks sufficiently skilled teachers and instructors, and are not linked to other education pathways. There is a need for broad VET reforms that are well coordinated with other relevant policies. These reforms should include alignment with sustainability and digitalization policies, multi-level governance approaches, and close interlinkage with other forms of education. This needs to be complemented also by integration of initial and further training of VET personnel that incorporates green skills. Just transition increases the need for labor market forecasting to match emerging skill demands. Due to higher workforce mobility, shorter innovation cycles, and the megatrends digitalization and greening, the skill needs of future labor markets will become increasingly dynamic, and the importance of skills forecasting will continue to increase. Anticipation mechanism can be based on national labor market information system if they exist and are functional. Alternative and sometimes more efficient solutions are sectoral or locally based skills forecasting approaches. Private sector engagement and the close interlinkage of labor market forecasting with VET systems is indispensable to make use of the findings for the modernization and greening of occupational profiles and curricula. The emerging skills demand in a green economy will require vets to rapidly adapt existing occupational profiles and develop new ones. Vet systems are often slow in responding to changing skill demand. Those policymakers, project designers, and practitioners need to strike a balance between a sufficiently rapid response to market needs and the unhorning of modernized new green qualifications in qualification frameworks and vet systems. Potential approaches for rapid response include providing support to the private sector to develop in-company training programs and the development of non-formal trainings, as well as of certified training modules that can later be added to an existing occupational profile. The greening of occupational profiles should be guided by the relevance of occupational fields of greening, the demand for green skills, as well as an analysis of industry practices and the need for greening this practice. Further guiding aspects should be policy for mainstreaming green content in occupational profiles and curricula and the existing standards of a country for development of qualification and curricula. This transition to a less pollutive, less environmentally degrading and less carbon-intensive economy, a green economy, will, however, not be possible without workers with the appropriate skills to facilitate and accelerate this economic transition. Education systems will need to adapt to the newly emerging requirements, not only in relation to skill sets, but also to the forms and methods of teaching and learning. This concerns the entire educational system from basic to higher and adult education, but it is particularly true for vocational education and training. Vet services to equip current and future job seekers, as well as those already in the labor market with the skills they need to earn a decent living in a green economy. In turn, green occupations are those professions whose set of tasks help to reduce the consumption of energy and raw materials, limit harmful emissions, minimize waste and pollution, protect and restore ecosystems, and enable the private sector and communities to adapt to climate change. The anticipated change in the occupational landscape will necessitate new skill sets which enable workers to adapt to the emerging requirements. One of the official definitions of green skills is the knowledge, skills, values, and attitudes required to live in, develop, and support a sustainable and resource-efficient society. The green skills do not only include the necessary skills to work in green jobs, but also fundamental environmental skills for jobs that are outside green sectors. This requires not only changing, but also widening the technical and soft skills. Yet, the adaptation and expansion of skill sets will not be possible without a change in the current educational system in general and the vet system in particular. In brief, green vet equips people with the knowledge, competencies, skills, values, and attitudes demanded by emerging green jobs to enable them to actively participate in the just transition and act as socially and environmentally responsible citizens. The European Green Deal will transform the European Union into a modern, resource-efficient and competitive economy. New occupations are emerging and existing ones changing, making up and reskilling essential across sectors. There is a need for sectors to shift from linear to circular production models and investigates the skill needs to be met for this change to happen. For example, significant growth is expected for ICT-related occupations, reflecting the nature of the green transition. Employment growth is not only expected for green sector-specific jobs, such as waste sorting optimization professionals, but also for jobs in other sectors or with a more generic profile. More sustainable production models will affect many occupations. Such green hearts and minds occupations will lead to greener, more sustainable behavior. Initial and continuing VET are central to meeting skill needs arising from the green transition. Different levels of skills are required to meet new challenges. Continuing VET supports up and reskilling, for example, by enabling workers across occupations to understand and incorporate new environmental regulations. Targeted continuing VET can help fill jobs in critical green occupations supported by career guidance, opportunities to validate non-formal and informal learning, including micro-credentials, which can accredit learning that doesn't lead to a full qualification. Apprenticeships and other forms of work-based learning for young people and adults can also encourage people to enter sectors important for the green transition that may suffer for low attractiveness. To serve better the current skills revolution, stronger coordination and cooperation between stakeholders, such as social partners and training providers, is crucial not only in partnership with higher education or centers of vocational excellence to increase cooperation in research and development, but also to design VET courses and programs. There is scope for including modules developed specifically for the green transition across a wide range of courses and programs. This highlights the importance of training VET schools, teachers, and trainers to provide learners with the skills to advance the green economy. Systematic implementation of principles and processes related to circular economy across all curricula helps develop green mindset and encourages the shift from linear to circular production. The skills for the green transition are in fact a blend of technical and soft skills, job-specific and transversal skills, and that there is a strong link between the digital and green transition, so-called twin transition, given that in most key occupations for the green transition, the design, development, and use of technology, as well as digital skills are crucial. CEDEFOP is the European Center for the Development of Vocational Training, lists the occupations that are most important for the green transition, the green drivers, key green occupations, those who work on the front line of the green transition, occupations developing green technologies, and managers that need to adjust or develop new business models. Occupations that may be small in terms of employment shares, but indispensable for achieving the green transition, the so-called thyroid or niche occupations. These are high and middle skilled occupations that invent, design, and conceptualize green transition solutions and implement it. The preliminary analysis suggests that will be higher demand for these occupations, but different and or upgraded skills will be required. Besides job-specific technical skills, These also include soft and transversal skills such as problem solving, communication, and attention to detail, adaptability, and flexibility. The European Green Deal doesn't only affect occupations and skills needed in specific sectors, but it also necessitates changing business models. Companies, particularly in sectors affected by the green transition, need to adapt their human resource management to establish workers' up and reskilling opportunities in order to absorb the frictions caused by the transition. Fresh employment opportunities are expected to emerge not only in high-skilled jobs, but also in middle-skilled occupations with more technical profiles and low-skilled roles. In the short term, that can accompany the changes taking place by quickly addressing emerging skill demands, for example, with short courses. In the longer term, that can embed the circularity concept in existing curricula and programs and design new ones where necessary. It also means attracting young people to green learning pathways, those that doesn't simply accompany the changes, it triggers change and fosters innovations.